Welcome back to Brent's Prime Food Adventures. I'm Brent. I am here with Becca and Kris. I'm at the Lazy Acres Ranch. This is our second episode that we're doing together where we're discussing rabbits as livestock. And in Longmont, Colorado, in case I didn't say that, we're on 6 acres. And today what we're going to feature is we're going to feature the nutritional benefits of rabbits. They let me hold Colt before. We're going to see if he goes for that. Well, if my buddy Colt goes for this. I got some still pics while you were outside. And yes, we are going to talk about the nutritional culinary. I don't mind if you don't mind. He's eating paper. All right. We're going to talk about the nutritional culinary benefits of rabbits. This was my idea to pick them up, everybody. So I was the lean, high-quality protein of rabbit. We're specifically focusing on rabbit. Do you that's something that's a thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so rabbit meat is very lean. Leaner than even chicken, but it's still very high in vitamins and minerals, and really great protein. So if you're looking for a lean protein, it's one of the best, and it's also very flavorful too. The rabbits we raise are meat rabbits, not wild rabbits, and so they taste really delicious. I think basically they taste pretty much like the dark meat of chicken. So they've got a lot of flavor, and even though they're very lean.
And that's another item here when we're going to talk about the flavor. I've heard that it's mild, slightly sweet, not gamey. That all makes sense, right?
Totally, yeah, I would definitely agree with that. There's no gamey flavor. Like you're really only getting that from wild rabbit, so it's a very different taste than wild rabbit. Mild, sweet, almost like the dark meat of chicken.
Do you know how most of the people that are purchasing your rabbits, do you know how they're preparing it? Do you ever ask?
From when we talk, mostly from the people that we talk to at the farmers market, we've got repeat customers that really like it and asking them what they do. And a lot of people like to make like stew or braise the rabbit. But we also have for people that have fried the rabbit, which is really good too.
And then what's the French classic way?
There's a way more complicated way of making rabbit, where you debone the rabbit and then wrap it with some type of like prosciutto or bresaola or something like that.
At the last market, we had somebody that said their French friend made it that way.
Yeah, so there's a braised rabbit that's French. There's a German, Hassenpfeffer. There's a big rabbit stew.
Yeah.
And I think all three of us are pretty good with a knife, I'll be honest. I know I'm good with a knife. I would not want to bone a rabbit.
It is hard, for sure. It's a little tedious and a little bit awkward with a rabbit. I've done it for sure, but it takes a little bit of time.
Would you take those bones and make a stock? Do you ever do a...
Totally, yeah. Yeah, so we, are trying to use as much of the animal as possible. So if I ever debone the rabbit, and even if we don't debone the rabbit and we cook it, we have the bones left over after eating, we'll keep all those and then make a big stock.
I save a lot of my bones, even chicken bones. I'm making stock all the time. And I just put them in the freezer until I get enough to make a batch. Is that kind of what you're talking about?
Yeah.
What do you do with rabbit stock? Do you use that as part of the rabbit stew? Or is there a soup? Or what do you do with the rabbit stock?
All different stuff. I think my favorite thing that we like to do is we use that stock to make polenta.
Yeah.
Which is really, really
yummy.
Oh my
God, yes.
That's probably our favorite.
And I'm more of a quinoa is, is
So
a
they
very,
use it for rice.
Yeah,
quinoa.
rice, a brown rice or quinoa type person. Low in fat and cholesterol.
Totally, yes. That's the other thing that's nice about them is low in fat and cholesterol. They have just a very small amount of fat on them. So.
This is why we are stewing the rabbit. I believe that's what my friend John's going to do in Dale. And this is why we're smoking the rabbit. It's because it is such a lean item. So when you said they fried the rabbit, that one stunned me a little bit because I think that would not be. Maybe I'd marinate the rabbit first if I was going to grill it.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you're frying something, you're deep frying it in oil, so the oil definitely helps to bring the flavor and a little bit of extra fat into it. Usually, too, when you're frying it, a lot of times you debone it first, and you're doing it in smaller pieces so that you have these more tender bites.
Sure. Okay. Rich in essential nutrients. Easily digestible.
Totally, yeah. It's very, very highly digestible meat. That's easily digestible for humans and also for other animals too. So, like our dogs eat a lot of the rabbit scraps, which is really great for them.
Yeah, at my store, I told you I sold about 20 rabbits a month. They were frozen out of the freezer. And I did have one customer that would come in and she would buy 4 or 5 every month. And she would have a mask. She was very frail, about my age. But she just said that for what was wrong with her, what was ailing her, the rabbit meat was very healthful.
Totally.
And a lot of that is just the grass. It's not a grain finished product. It's the grass only. And I know that appealed to her for whatever her health issues were. I don't remember if she even told me what they were. And I want to talk about the flavor again. Grass and grass, not grass and grain. Grass and grain tends to give you more marbling in your livestock. Totally, right? And fat is where the flavor is. So the fact that these rabbits are going to be delicious the way they are, adding the smoke and the stew and pulling it, I'm really looking forward to it.
I would ask Becca, what do you do with all the things that aren't the carcass?
Oh, I meant to ask that. Thank you. And I'm going to even talk about the skin. I meant to ask about the skins. Do you save the skins?
We do. We make them into rawhide shoes for the dogs. We don't tan them for like making clothing or something. Yeah, but we cut them into pieces and roll them up and make little rawhide strips.
Do you sell those?
We do.
I did see that at your booth.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is great. And again, I love to say Polish is my ethnicity, and they used every part of the animal all the time, like the Native Americans, really Central Europeans. So yes, let's talk about what we do with the rabbit scraps. In addition to, so we're saying that the fur, the skin, is used for rawhide for pets, for dogs.
That's one of the things that we do. We pretty much try to utilize every part of the animal that we possibly can.
So what else? Uh-huh.
So, and since we're processing here, we can save the different parts easily.
Yeah.
So, we save the heads and feed them to our dogs. We dehydrate the ears to make treats for our dogs. We dehydrate the feet and the tail also for treats. And then we take the pelt and cut it into strips and then roll those strips up and dehydrate them, and they are a natural rawhide for the dog. And we leave the fur on in that situation, which sounds a little bit weird, but fur is actually a really great thing for a dog's digestive tract. It acts like a natural dewormer and helps to clean out their gut. So it passes through safely and is a really great treat. And we've decided to do that with the pelts instead of tanning them because the pelts from a really young rabbit, like a 12-week-old rabbit, are very thin and break really easily. So they're really difficult to tan. And it's also very, high labor, a lot of time to tan the pelts. So we found it just to be quicker and easier to make these super nutritious treats for the dogs. And the dogs are obsessed with them. And then, we sell them at the farmer's market, and we've had so many repeat customers that say that their dog is obsessed too. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to do the website again. I'm going to show it here. Tell me, go ahead and say it to me again.
Lazy-acres-ranch.com.
If you're not able to find them at the Boulders Farmers Market, by the way, which is going to be done at the end of November anyways, please go to that contact area, the contact section, if this is something you feel like would be healthy for your pets, because they are sold. You buy them frozen probably, right?
No, since they're dehydrated, we just have them, they're shelf stable, so we've got them in little bags to sell.
Yeah, well, that is fantastic. So we're back to talking more about what do we do with the rabbit, all the rabbit. We're going to use all of it, and we have we're using the bones for stock, and we're actually saving the bones if you're gonna debone it, or if you're actually gonna just put them in your freezer and make a stock after you eat a rabbit. I save chicken bones sometimes if there's still meat on them that I've cooked for my stock. We talked about the skins, what we're going to do. Let's talk about what I'm going to call the organ meat. So I'm going to specifically focus on the liver and maybe the kidney, or maybe the heart. What do we do with that?
For us, we save all the organs, which are the liver, the heart, the lungs, the trachea, and the kidneys. And the majority of all those organs we feed to the dogs raw. But the livers, a lot of times we make pate with the livers for us, which is really amazing. Rabbit livers are just really mild and sweet, and also very large in size. So rabbit liver is about like this big, whereas a chicken liver is about half the size.
Show me that again. Show the camera.
So a rabbit liver, is about this big, whereas a chicken liver is about half that size, about that big. So, when you're trying to make a larger quantity of something like pate, rabbit livers are great for that because they have a lot of meat on them. They're a lot larger. You can make a lot more pate, and the flavor of it is just really nice and smooth. You don't really have that really strong liver flavor to it. So we love to make rabbit liver pate. And then sometimes if we have extra, I might just like fry them up in a pan with a little bit of fat and salt and pepper.
Absolutely.
And that's really good too. Or feed the dogs.
I'll do that with chicken livers sometimes when I run across a chicken. It still has I'll just take the liver and fry it up and eat it. It's so delicious.
Totally.
So delicious.
And then I guess, and then the guts and the blood, we still save. That's like the part that's, not digestible, but we save it and we put it on our compost pile. Which adds a lot of nitrogen to our compost pile. So.
Okay, what do you do with the compost then?
And then our compost we use all over the property for different reasons. We've got a pretty decent sized vegetable garden. It's about 30 by 50 feet. So majority of the compost usually goes there, but then we'll use it for different things. This year we installed a new edible landscaping zone. So we've got fruit trees and raspberries and other types of berries. So we used the compost when we were planting all of those plants. We've used it in the past when we were planting the plants in our pasture for the windbreak.
Is your garden for your consumption, or is it for sale, or is it for any of your livestock?
It's just for our personal consumption, and for, a lot of times we have access for friends or family. And we grow a lot of things like with the purpose of preserving. So, knowing that we might want to can a lot of tomatoes or make a lot of green chili with Anaheims, things like that. But we haven't got into selling vegetables. It's because,
It's a personal consumption.
Yeah.
So when we're talking, I will share when we talk about the dogs. Let's put in a little pitch for the Bernedoodle. Okay, sure. So because Kris and Becca are ranchers and raise animals, they also raise Bernedoodles. So how many dogs do you have on site?
So we have we have a total of 7 dogs right now, but one of them is just our farm dogs. So we've got 6 breeding dogs, 4 females and 2 males, and we decided we wanted to add an extra income stream to the farm to diversify and
allow you to do that from not having to be elsewhere.
Allowed me to work from home and be with our son Colt. So that led us to dog breeding as an extra source of income. And I have a friend who has been my dog breeding mentor, She also breeds dogs, and she suggested to us to do Bernedoodles.
Which is for the unaware audience. What is a Bernedoodle?
So Bernedoodle is a Bernese Mountain Dog bred to a poodle. And so, usually it's the first generation, which is what we do, Bernese Mountain Dog to a poodle, but you can also do like a Bernedoodle to a Bernedoodle.
Yeah.
And they are really great family dogs. You get sort of that loving, chill environment, temperament from the Bernese Mountain Dog, but the non-shedding coat of a poodle.
Do you have a separate website for the Bernedoodle?
Yes, our website for the Bernedoodles is lazyacresbernedoodles.com.
Okay, I'm
And-
gonna post that too.
Like breeding the rabbits, there's a lot of variation in what you're combining. And Becca decided when she looked at other Bernedoodle breeders as well as talking to her friends and family before starting that she wanted to do smaller Bernedoodles. And so we have a mini poodle and then smaller females, Bernese Mountain Dogs. And that gives us a much smaller Bernedoodle at 35 to 55 pounds.
We also talked about the small business owners, past small business owners. You've got this food on site that it makes all the sense in the world to have dogs that you're
Totally.
breeding.
Yeah.
Because you talked about the rabbit skins and the rabbit parts and among other things that the dogs can be fed that is nutritional dense and how it makes all the sense in the world.
It definitely seemed like, in addition, to a new income stream for us and for our family and for the farm, it also made sense because we do have all of these offcuts or organ meats or different pieces of the animal from processing that are really great for dogs and dog food and very nutritious for them, and also makes a ton of sense when they're breeding, lactating, or pregnant. They need a lot of extra calories, so
Right.
we've got this amazing nutrient source for them, which really helps.
And plenty of room for the dogs to go out and roam. I'm looking outside, I'm seeing dogs outside right now, just hanging out.
Totally, that's the great part too. I think we've got a lot of space here for them, and we're small scale enough that our dogs live in the house with us, and so they really get that, get used to family life and house life, and
The puppies are in the house too.
the puppies are
When
in
we
the
have
house,
puppies.
Yeah.
which works out well.
Okay, so we got a little bonus footage on Bernedoodles. It was something I learned about as I met Kris and Becca. Cheers. Okay, it's a little after 5 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and pull off the rabbit we're going to pull next. What time did you put it on?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. So you guys do the math. Although I do want to say again that remember we ran out of pellets because we were doing other things, getting sidetracked. Kris is also going to take his pork butt now, just so it's getting dark, and he's going to wrap it inside, and then he's going to put it in his oven. So we're going to go ahead and turn the smoker off. We feel like we got enough, I'm going to call bark on that char, that it is ready to be wrapped. This isn't a pork butt episode, this is a freebie for everybody. I'm not going to do the recipe. But just so you know, when you maximize that smoker, you put everything on you can. Okay, here we go. We are opening up our pulled rabbit. Let's have at it, Kris. It's not pulled yet. We got some work to do. We're going right to that thigh, just like a chicken.
We reached the 195 mark.
What did we reach?
182.
182. We're pulling in at 182, guys. It's been on long enough, and we're gonna let her go. for the record, I would pull pork at 195 at the store, but I think I've pulled it at both lower and higher temperatures in my life. Just so you know, it's not a hard and fast rule. To be continued. Okay, we have gloves on for this one. It's cooked product, and I'm going to put my gloves on and start pulling in a minute too. So we have the bowl here. Oops, I got it out of the way. And when we say pulling, I'm sure most people are going to realize this. It's really just shredding. It's just shredding the meat, and it pulls right off the bone, is what it does.
I'm gonna put that aside because the belly never shreds well.
Okay. Now that okay. Tell me one more time what we call those pieces.
Belly flaps.
Belly flaps. I always want to call them
them.
side. I always side rabbit, but there's no such term. Belly flaps is really the right term.
That's fair.
And we were going to save every little bit of juice. I don't think I filmed this, but there was some juice. That's why we wrapped, and we drained it into this. I'm assuming we're gonna pour that back into the rabbit. Is what we're gonna do. And it's a little warm here, so we're opening it up a little. Is what we're doing. We really did just take it off. It's a normal thing. If we weren't working on this all day, we'd probably let it cool down for a little bit. But we're gonna go at it right now, and it is normal when you're pulling rabbit, pork, chicken, anything. You let it cool off a little bit first. I'm going to set the camera down. I'm going to get at this too. Okay, we have everything pulled. I'm going to, is it okay if I dump the oil in now? The juices, the au jus is what I'll call that. He's ready. This is a man after my own heart. He took the pulled rabbit and put it right in there. And I don't want to reach in there with my hands. Will you put a little bit in my hand here? I'm going to give you my judgment right now. Oh, we get the chef's kiss. Mwah! That gets the chef's kiss. I'm going to bring this home and make some pulled rabbit sandwiches. I might add a little, I don't know, olive oil to some of it. I might add a little barbecue sauce, very little, just for moisture. And my carcass. Again, I'm gonna make all those bones. I'm gonna go ahead and make a rabbit stock. We saved the side flaps here. We didn't pull those. I'm gonna just put that in with the rabbit that I'm bringing home to eat as another time. And I think what I'm gonna do with that stock, we'll see. If I bring it up when Chef John cooks the rabbit, he wants the rabbit stock for the stew, I'll have it. We'll see. Otherwise, I'll use it in something else. Cheers. Bonus footage coming up here. What do I have? Well, you may remember that I had 2 rabbit carcasses from the rabbits that we smoked. And that first rabbit that we smoked, we cooked to 165 degrees. We ate it for dinner with mashed potatoes and carrots. Delicious. The second one we cooked to approximately 195 degrees and we pulled it. So I had a huge amount of pulled rabbit as well as rabbit carcasses. When I say a huge amount, it was a couple pounds. And what was I going to do with that? Well, I did eat some of the pulled rabbit, and I did different things with it. I put some in a salad with a balsamic vinaigrette. I made a sandwich out of some with some a light amount of barbecue sauce. But I still had this large amount of pulled rabbit left over, and the carcasses. So I took the carcasses and I made rabbit stock, and I followed the stock template that I provided in my first bison episode, the one that's called the Memphis Bison Ranch History and Business Model. I used that same format to make rabbit stock out of those 2 carcasses and bones. I ended up with about 10 cups of rabbit stock. So I took 6 cups and I made my split pea pulled rabbit soup. And that's what we have here. It is, I can't wait. I cannot wait. So what this is after I made my stock, I had those carcasses still remaining, and I pulled the meat that was left on them, and I added that to my my pulled rabbit that I had, and that means I ended up with I have 6 cups of rabbit stock in this. I have 4 cups of water. I have all the ingredients, which of course are listed in the description below, as well as the cooking instructions. And I had about 2.5 pounds of pulled rabbit. And this is what I ended up with. So I believe that it's done. I'm going to go ahead and try it out. And bonus footage. I never know what I'm going to make, apparently, when I go on one of my adventures.